Hi everyone, welcome back to creating yet another useful workflow for marketing. Today we are going to do an interesting case. Uh, let's say the workflow we are going to build is, let's take an example. Let's say again we'll pick Pepsi, like the last session. We'll pick Pepsi, and let's say Pepsi Star wants to come up with a new T-shirt for girls, and they want the T-shirt to look exactly same in the brand color of Pepsi, right? How would they go about it on the workflow? We call it Aura at Marxx AI. So let me start with the thinking that I have right now, right? So we're going to start with a basic T-shirt. We'll pick a white T-shirt, and then we have to add colors on top of T-shirt. Color should be the brand color of Pepsi. Pepsi might have multiple brand colors based on how I see Pepsi bottle. So they have multiple colors. So somehow I need to do a color transfer from a Pepsi bottle to a T-shirt. That's really interesting. So I need to understand first the color palette being used by Pepsi, and then apply that color palette to the T-shirt. Right. That's what I'm thinking. What I'm gonna do is again start with upload node first. From here, I'll click on upload, or you can type U on the keyboard. Upload will appear. I'm gonna pick a white T-shirt for girls. I have some samples on my laptop, so I'm just gonna upload one of that. Let's say this one. I'm gonna upload another one. I'll pick a similar image that I picked last time around Pepsi. So let me pick the similar color Pepsi bottle, which is again last campaign they ran. Greatness awaits you. I need to somehow transfer color from this Pepsi at the bottom to the white T-shirt on the top. So the way I'm thinking is, first let's extract the color palette from this Pepsi. So we need to pick a model that understands images and then can output a text model, right? So all I'll do is I'll create another node, ask it generate text node. Again, I'll rely on GPT 5.2, and from here I'll write a prompt that will give me that output of a color palette. I have written a basic prompt just asking it to look at the image and give me the top 10 most used color hex in this image, output it as hex code 1, 2, and so on, right? And generate text. Then I'll move on to this particular one. I'll again ask the GPT to understand image so that they know what is in the image. So again, I'm going to use ChatGPT 5.2 here. So I'm just going to paste a prompt. So this is again output of 2-3 lines, understanding what the image is all about. And the structure or output is image 1 description. Here we are using just one image, so that is there. Next, what I'm going to do is come up with an image that has these hex codes, right? So that I can then take that as a reference image, take the first one as a product image, and then combine and merge these two together. So what I'll do is I'll generate a image. So I'll create on generate image, give it these hex code, and then write a prompt that will create these hex code in form of an image. So I'll just paste the prompt here. It's a simple prompt. I need a 16:9. Let's call it 1:1 in this case, because we're just using 1:1 at both places. Create equal width vertical color panel. So I want all the color panels from 1 to 10, right? And then basic prompting just to tell it what it needs to do. So for this, I'm going to rely on, again, I'll start with OpenAI to see how it works. I'll choose a 1024 1:1 model, aspect ratio, and then I click on generate image, right? While this is generating, next thing I will have to do is then create an image prompt and then create an image. So just add here, I need to generate an image prompt, which will, so this is a color palette that came out of this particular image, right? So now I'm going to use this color palette to write a image prompt that will actually create that particular image. So I need an image prompter, and then I need to generate an image. That's how it will look like. I'll also give it this image as a reference to this one, understands what T-shirt is, and this back to this one. So in the case of generate text, I'm just gonna write it simply to look at the 2-3 lines that I'm giving it, right? And then for the image, and they have to just write the image to description in here so that I can provide that description to this particular image mixer. So again, image editor. So again, use a GPT 5.2, click on generate text. So now you can see image 2 is there. We have the image 1, both has been uploaded. And then I'm just going to use, in this case, I'm going to use OpenAI 5.1 with the same size, 1:1. And then I'll just provide them 2 images. And then you have to look at these 2 images. Again, understand this is image 2. So I have added a description as well, so that to know exactly this is image 2, this is the image 1 in which they have to apply it. And I click on generate image. So that's how we'll do a color transfer from this one to that one. I'll also connect the start node so that I can reuse this workflow again and again. The next T-shirt that I have, I just use the next T-shirt, apply the same color font, and get as many images as I want, right? That's the power of Aura. I'll wait for the image to get generated. Right, so this is the image generated by the prompt, right? So this is the image. It has added all different shades of color, similar to how it was in the case of the input image. So I'm just going to bring those input images together. So this was the image, and this was the image, right? So you see different shades of color from here was picked here. To make it more better, you can just use the product as an image input image node, so that these shades will not come in, these shades will not come in, these shades will not come in, right? So that's how you build a workflow on Aura to transfer the style of one image into the other image. That's it for this session. We are quickly going to cover something next in the new session. Thank you.